Boom. My last question today, and it's a good one, is how do we grow in hearing from God? Really, really good question. Let me begin by saying I think we should grow from hearing from God. I know, I was saying this with the team here in Ireland last week, and some of them were a little bit not happy I said it, but most people I know are not that great at hearing from God. Most people I know are not as good as hearing from God as they think they are. Now, I'm not being nasty, and I'm including myself in that. So I think with all of us, it's not that we don't hear from God, but we don't hear from God that well. And I think what we've got to do is embrace the journey of growing. I quoted in an earlier answer 1 Samuel 3 about Samuel learning to hear from God. And at the end of 1 Samuel 3, it says that Samuel grew and established a testimony in the whole of Israel that he really was hearing from God. And I think we've got to go on a personal journey of hearing from God, where we learn to distinguish between God and ourselves, where we learn to grow, we learn to expand, we learn to develop a personal testimony. And I think we should grow in that personally before we try and hear from God for others. Before we try, if our lives are a train wreck and there's no testimony established in our own life that we are actually hearing from God, I think it's a little redundant, a little silly if we're trying to constantly hear from God for other people. So I would say start for yourself, build up a testimony and a history in the small things, in the unimportant things, in the things that the world won't fall apart if you're wrong. Yeah, and as we do that, we'll grow in confidence. And I believe we can get to the place. I am often, not always, but often in the place where I will, if I've heard from God, I'll really go out on a limb. I think last night I had a word from somebody about a back tooth, a molar, some dental condition. Nobody responded, and I just stuck at it. I'm really sure I've heard from God. And 2 or 3 minutes later, the person responded. Now, there's a place at which if you're going to do that, you've got to really be sure you're hearing from God. There's a place at which to say, okay, maybe I missed it. But I think we grow by developing that history. We grow by listening in the small things. We grow by building a testimony. And rather than us going around and sort of pushing our prophetic ministry on others, let me tell you what God has said to you, here's what God said to you. If you build a testimony, people will come to you and solicit and desire to hear from you because you truly are hearing from God. But I encourage you to start that journey. Start it today. Take some time every day. Get a journal and ask the Lord, Lord, what are you saying to me? What's going to happen today, Jesus? Get a bunch of great prophetic questions you ask the Lord every day, and learn to grow in these things, because we have a speaking God in Jesus' name. Guys, thanks for watching this far. Do hit that subscribe button down there, and I will be back next week with another Q&A. Bless you, and bye for now.